Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. But if you're tired, you know what this video is about. Today we're discussing, of course, AEW Dynamite. It's October 1st edition of AEW Dynamite. Right now it's still on. I think right now I got another match. I think 2 more matches coming on right now. Commercial break. I'm making this video right here for the first part. Of course, they have an extra 30 minutes today added to the show. But so far we're seeing Kenny Omega return, of course, get a big victory in a trios match. But then after the match, Andrade, he's back. He went from WWE to AEW, and then was there for a little bit, and then he went back to the WWE, and then now he's back in AEW. So he's been jumping around like that. So I don't know what type of contract he has. I don't know if he has opt-out options or something, but he's been jumping around a lot, and now he's back, and he's joined Don Callis' family. Don Callis' family is stacked. They got everybody, of course, loaded on their roster. Everybody is kind of like just together on their roster. So we'll see what happens, of course, fully. The new hologram, well, actually, the fake hologram popped up and helped Kyle Fletcher as well defeat Orange Cassidy in the match as well. So you had that going on. You also had, of course, Toni Storm. Toni Storm would get a victory, but she also did call out Chris Statlander. She said Chris Statlander pinned her, of course, but she said she didn't do it one-on-one. She said she felt like that's the only thing that she was hearing like that. She said after the match, she just heard that she don't feel like she lost. So we'll see if they have a match, maybe a Wrestle Dream, a match somewhere. We'll see how that kind of goes out a little bit. And we also seen, of course, Hangman Adam Page in a trios match, and they got the victory over the Death Riders. But after the match, Samoa Joe felt a little disrespected, and he also had a little stuff kind of lingering on a little bit, and people have been kind of hinting towards that a little bit, saying Samoa Joe, Hangman Page probably have a little moment or something like that, or a match between each other. Maybe in the future. I think it's going to happen in Wrestle Dream, but it's happening in Wrestle Dream. Hangman Page and him had a little scuffle in the ring, and Hangman Page put the challenge out there, and Samoa Joe accepted it. So it'll be Samoa Joe versus Hangman Page for the AEW's World Championship, the Men's World Championship. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in that match. Last time we seen them face each other, it was that trios one, right? I think we remember Swerve versus Hangman versus Samoa Joe. It was all fighting. Was that last year? It was last year, right? It was last year. I guess that's the last time we seen them all together. Then now, of course, you have Samoa Joe versus Hangman Page one-on-one. So that should be a very good match. That'll probably be the main event, most likely, of Wrestle Dream. So that should be cool. But yeah, so far, we've seen some cool things, of course. We've seen Mercedes Moné. She said she want to fight Florida native, a wrestler, next week. She's defending her championship. So I don't know who's going to be, if somebody returning that we haven't been thinking of right now, or just somebody on the roster who's already like that. I have no idea where some people from. So well, I guess we'll see who her opponent is. I know Harley Cameron trying to be Mercedes Moné tag team partner. We'll see how that works out. That'd be pretty cool. It's always cool to have like a top tier wrestler. Mercedes Moné has won almost everything, all the accomplishments and stuff. And Harley Cameron is cool too as well, but more comedic style. And they kind of put them together. It always creates magic, of course. Like it's kind of like something that people can relate to all the time. So we'll see how that kind of plays out a little bit. But I'm about to dive into the last few matches, which is the main event match, and then get back to you guys right on here. Okay, now we've seen, of course, the main event now, and also Chris Statlander confirmed it. She accepted the challenge. So Toni Storm versus Chris Statlander at Wrestle Dream. We've seen the main event was very crazy. Seeing Marina get thrown on some thumbtacks. She don't wear no shoes when she wrestles, kind of like Mike Bailey. Get thrown on some thumbtacks on her feet, her bare foot, and then you see the thing they did to Willa Yuta, the suplex off the top of the turnbuckle into the chairs, and then you got suplexed on the chairs again by Chris Statlander. And then after the match, Toni Storm and Chris Statlander, was confronting each other and started fighting. And then Darby Allin was in there by himself, and he was beating up Willa Yuta at first, but then he started getting choked out. They literally had him like a dog with the collar around his neck. He was getting choked out. It's gonna be an I Quit match too as well. So we'll see if Darby Allin quits. He probably would not, because the man seems like he doesn't have he don't have any concern about his body or anything. So he got to win this match. He lost to Moxley a few times already. I don't think he ever beat Moxley. He lost to Moxley in the independent scene when Moxley first came off the AEW before getting the AEW scene. He lost to him then. He lost to him, of course, when they had the match when Moxley took his championship opportunity. He lost to him, of course, in the coffin match. He lost to Moxley a few times like that. Around, I think, like 3 or 4 times. So we'll see if he can find a way to beat Moxley. Today was the 6th anniversary of AEW Dynamite. It was very cool. I don't think I ever missed a Dynamite ever since it started. When the first show ended at Mayhem, they had the what was that called? The Inner Circle. They had the Inner Circle where everybody, of course, attacking Omega and the Young Bucks and stuff. Jericho had his group. That's when Jake Hager appeared and stuff. The first show ended in Mayhem, and the 6th show, 6 years later, ended in Mayhem as well. But yeah, I don't think I never missed a dynamite like that. So it's very cool to see them. 6th year anniversary. We'll see, maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now, like that, we see different stuff like that. Maybe I'll be in there. You never know. I know what can happen. But yeah, very cool show. And yeah, that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.